A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry, at Fair Oaks.
There he goes. About a block away, McLeod.
Oh, I see him. I've got good eyes.
Well, don't bite back at me like that. I'm just trying to help you. If you want me to close up like a clam, I will. Heavens to Betsy and think
No,
a man...
keep quiet. You're babbling on like an old woman.
Oh, all right then. Are you lads all right back there?
Yeah, we're all right. Just don't lose sight of that car, because we can't see it from here.
We're sitting on the floor of the truck.
All right, we've still got him in view.
There, Horos.
Oh, what's up?
A big car got between me and him.
Well, that's all right. We don't want to let him see us anyhow. It's easy to see, McLeod, that you don't know much about the tactics of reconnoitering.
No, never it's anything to do with war. I don't want to know anything about it.
Well, even in peace times, it comes in handy once in a while. Just like now, it's a good thing that car did come between us. That rascal up there we're chasing happened to see us, it'll throw him off the scent.
I didn't see the connection.
Oh, plain as the nose on your face, man. Plain as the
No,
nose.
go on with your story.
Well, don't you see? If we don't make any attempt to pass that big car up ahead, he won't get the idea that we're a-following.
Oh, you're right there, Corporal. I must admit it. Kid.
What, man?
The big car turned off to the right. Now I can see the man's automobile again very clearly. Aye, very clearly.
He just turned on his light.
Aye, he did.
Hey, look. Now he's making a turn to the right.
Aye. That's the street that leads onto the highway, the main highway to Wardville.
Oh, so that's where he's going, eh?
Oh, what, to Wardville? Well, how can we tell so soon?
Well, it's a logical thing to suppose. Wardville's a large city, much larger than Fair Oaks. And it'd be reasonable to suppose they'd take Harold Linwell where they'd be easier lost than here.
Oh,
Hey, are we turning?
Hi, Jerry. The man in the other automobile turned ahead of us. He's turning up Elm Street.
Oh, I see.
Want me to drive for a while, Mac?
No, I'm doing all right so far.
Sure, I just meant that maybe you were tired.
No, not yet, I'm not.
I didn't think a youngster like you could drive a car, Lee.
Oh, sure, Corporal Dent. I've driven cars since I was 12 years old.
What they don't allow young striplings to do nowadays wouldn't fill a postage stamp. Now, in our days, McLeod...
I can. In our days, the baronies were tied to their mother's apron strings and then dumped out into the world without training to take care of themselves. Now, I'm in favor of the new way. I'm in favor of progress.
Oh, what's the use of trying to argue with you? Say, doggone it, you turned out the lights. Do you want us to run into something?
I turned out the lights, and for a very good reason, too.
Oh, what is it, I'd like to know?
It's because at this time of the next, if that man in that automobile ahead saw a small hardware delivery truck coming out up on the highway, he'd think something was muggle queer.
Oh, I get it. That's a swell idea, man.
Gee, I think it is, too.
Well, I don't know now. I remember one...
Oh, man, this is not the time nor the place to be spilling any of your recollections. We've got a job in our hands, and a mighty big one, and a hard one.
Oh, all right. Say, you better come to a halt, McLeod. That fella's driving into that gasoline service station up ahead.
I will.
Hey, what's the matter?
The man's driving into the service station, Jerry. We man wait until he goes on.
Oh. Is he getting gas or oil?
Jerry, for the love of Mike, what else would he be going into a service station for?
Well, gee, he might be going to use the phone.
And that's exactly what he's a-doing, Jerry. He's telephoning to somebody.
Well, how can you tell this far away?
My eyesight's a heap better than yourn, McLeod. I can see him just as plain as day.
Well, is the station man inside with him?
Yes, he is, Jerry. Yeah, he's sitting right there in his chair reading something.
Well, then that's swell.
What do you mean, lad, swell?
Well, don't you see, Corporal Dent? We can stop there and ask the station man where that fellow was phoning to.
Well, I don't think we better do that.
Oh, why not?
Well, because we might lose sight of the other car if we stop to talk.
Oh, yeah, but...
No, I think Corporal Dent's right, Jerry.
Well, all right.
Say, McLeod, have you thought to notice how far we've gone? That'll be a mighty important factor in tracing these fellas when we tell the government men about this thing.
Oh, Lord, sir, I didn't think of it up to this time, but we can watch from now on. Would you mind, Corporal?
No. I'll keep the log from now on.
Keep the log? Oh, what log?
Oh, Jerry, you know what he means. Like on a ship.
Oh, you mean a record of how far we've gone as we pass, well, landmarks, huh?
Sure, my boy. Now, let me see. 24,792 miles on this thingamabob. I'd estimate we've traveled almost...
there it goes again.
Huh? Oh, about a mile. Now, let me see. Yeah, Jansen Service Station. All right, now I'm all set. Now, why don't you drive in back to that service station, McLeod, and then get out of the other side instead of turning that corner with the lights of the station full on it?
Oh, good thought, Corporal. I'll do just that.
Golly, I sure hope we can find out where that man's going. I'll bet then we'll be right there where Harold is.
Corporal Dent, Mac, you're not thinking of going into a house where those men are you?
Not a bit of it, Lee. Nope. All we want to do is to find out where that rapscallion's a-going, and then go back and tell the government men about it.
Oh, yes, I see. But suppose they might get away in the meantime.
Well, I've thought of that too, Lee. Now, while you and Jerry drive back with McLeod here in this truck, I'll ambush myself and keep watch.
Yes, but you haven't got a gun or anything to protect yourself with, in case they happen to see you, have you?
No, sir, nary a weepon. But Benjamin Franklin Dent don't need nothing like that to guard himself. No, sirree, Bob. Give me a good screen of shrubbery and nobody in the world could ferret me out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, rein in there, McLeod. Rein in.
Well, what's the trouble,
Can't you see, man? Why, he's turning right into that side road.
Oh, I do see him, Nanu. We'll wait here just a half a moment and then drive on and follow him up there.
That's the tactics, McLeod. You'll have to slow down on that dirt road, which it must be because there ain't no sign.
Are we stopping again?
No, lad. No, the other car's turned into a side road. We're waiting a minute or two to let him get ahead of it.
Oh, I see.
Well, gee, let's don't lose him.
Oh, we won't, Jerry. We won't. Don't worry. Not with the eagle eye of Benjamin Franklin Dent on him. All right, McLeod. Now we can go on. Let's see now. To this turn, it's 24794. Yep. That's what I'd have reckoned. It's 2 miles from the gasoline station.
Say, it's getting awfully bumpy. Are we on the dirt road now?
Yep, that's where we are, lad. Say, you better take it a little easier, McLeod.
I will.
Huh.
Look.
Yep. I see him.
What's the matter? What happened?
Well, the fella's just turned off the road, Jerry.
Is there another road up there where he turned?
I don't know, lad. Can't quite see yet. Say, you better come to a halt now, McLeod. We don't know what that critter's up to.
You're right, Corporal.
There. All right, lads. Get out. Wait, I'll open the back and you can get out that way. Now, don't make too much noise.
Oh, Losh.
What's up, McLeod?
Come here quickly.
Keep your voice covered, man. We don't know what's lying in ambush around this sector.
He's turned on a flashlight.
A flashlight?
Yes, sir, I can see it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now. We'll keep close to this line of the bushes along the side of the road and advance slow-like onto the enemy. Now, no talking in ranks. All right, now, come on.
All right.
Okay with you.
Hey, he's knocking up through the clump of trees.
Yeah, we can tell by his flashlight.
Better knock up for a while, lads.
Yeah.
Say, there's a house. Some kind of a building up there in them trees.
You're absolutely right, Corporal. Looks like a shed.
I know what that is. It's an old outbuilding on the Hazlitt farm.
Hazlitt Farm?
Yes, sir, Bob, that's what it is. This is the road that runs along the north side of Aaron Hazlitt's farm. I recollect now I've seen that from the back stoop of the farmhouse.
Well, then, that must be where they're keeping Harold.
No doubt of it, Lee, no doubt of it. Well, Now, to get back to Fair Oaks and tell them government men about this.
Aye, come on.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Jerry?
Well, listen, what's to prevent those men from leaving here while we're driving back to Fair Oaks?
Say, that's right.
Aye, you're absolutely correct, Jerry.
Hey, I've got an idea.
Yeah, what, Lee?
Well, I'll crawl up to that car and take the distributor head off.
Oh, no, Lee. You might not do that. It's too dangerous.
Danger be hanged. The lad's right, McLeod. It's the only way to be sure the rascals can't leave without walking. And you can mark my words, that bunch won't risk walking down a lonely road this time of night with a young lad wearing a Fair Oaks uniform.
Well, no, I didn't think it.
Oh, quit your sniveling, McLeod. You're worse than an old she-bear with a newborn cub. Hey, Lee.
Yes, sir.
We're removing that what you call it?
Distributor head?
Yeah. Will that keep the engine from running?
Oh, you bet it will. It won't run at all.
Well, then, go to it, lad. Go to it.
I'll go with you, Lee.
Okay, come on.
Oh, gosh, I'm a wee bit afraid.
Oh, it's all right, Mac. We'll be careful. Come on, Lee.
Well, put up that. We'll be standing guard.
Careful of that vine there, Jerry.
Okay, got it.
And here's a little gully here. We'll have to be careful. It's awfully dark down there.
Come on, I got hold of your coat.
Okay, here goes.
Now, up the other side.
Oh, swell, we made it. Well, there's the car just ahead of us.
Yeah.
Jerry, you stay here right behind this bush, and I'll sneak up behind the car and along the side.
Well, why don't I go with you?
Because they're more liable to see two of us than just me alone.
Well, okay.
All right, here I go.
Get it?
You bet I got it. Come on. Careful. Here's the little gully again.
Yeah. There's Corporal Dent and Mac, right over there.
Yeah, I see them.
Did you get away with it, Lee?
You bet.
Ah, good work, lads. Good work.
Oh, losh, laddies, I'm glad you're back safe and hearty.
Now, McLeod, you take the two boys and drive back as fast as you can to Fair Oaks. Get that government man to bring all his forces here as quick as possible. I'll stand watch here till you get back.
Gee, Corporal Dent, aren't you afraid they might see you?
Oh, what if they do? Don't make no difference. If I'm here when you get back, you know that they didn't see me. If I ain't here, well, I'll be on the inside of that there cabin. Now, go on, get. There ain't 1 minute to lose.
All right, lads, come on.
countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, Ray Bradbury's Dwellers in Silence. "20 years had passed. 20 years since the last of the giant migration ships had crashed to the surface of Mars, bearing its pitiful handful of survivors of the Earth Wars. 20 years of longing, of turning eyes toward the green Earth as it hung on the horizon like a beckoning light. And now it was done. And the first new ship, built of shining Martian chromaton, had lifted bravely toward home with 3 men locked in its metal belly.
There it is. You can barely see the top of the Atomic Trades building in the twilight. A never-finished building.
Captain.
What is it?
Am I going out of my mind? Look, out that way, to the west.
Could that be?
Heaven, it is. Those are lights. Turn the ship. Full cruising speed. They are lights. Captain, it's a city, a whole blasted city lit up like a Christmas tree. What do you think of your dead planet now, Williams?
Decelerate to -5. We're going to take her down.
Unbelievable. We've been walking for hours now and not a soul to be seen.
There must be someone. How do you explain the light?
Unless they've been burning like this for 20 years.
Impossible.
I don't know. Municipal building. Do we have a look here, sir? Possibly the records might contain some.
That's a good idea. Keep your weapons ready. We'll start right here with the city clerk's office. Better check radiation again, Doctor.
Well, not enough to do any damage.
Gives you the creeps, doesn't it? Look at this desk. Papers crumpled, inkstand, just as if somebody came in and worked here every day. Dog licenses, hunting permits.
That's strange. There's ink in that inkstand.
Well, what of it?
Well, you'd think standing open for 20 years it would have dried up. Good heavens.
If I hadn't heard it with my own ears. Evans, did that phone ring?
Yes. Well?
Pick it up, Doctor.
Hello?
Good day, Doctor. How are you? I called to ask some advice about a trepanning problem. Can you tell me if the lateral cut should be made first?
Hello. Hello. This is absolutely insane. Hello.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll do that. By the way, how is your wife, Alice? And the girls? And your son, John? Fine boy, John. I'll call again tomorrow. Goodbye, Doctor.
Hello. Hello. Gone dead. Who was it? I don't know. Strange voice carried on a conversation about some surgical operation without paying the slightest attention to anything I said. Captain.
What is it?
Listen. Someone is coming, walking slowly toward the corridor.
Coming closer.
Jumping Jupiter. It's a man. An old man.
Are you... Is it really someone? You seem to be real. I saw the ship come down, and I thought perhaps I was losing my mind. It's been so many years.
I'm Captain John Parsons. These are my assistants, Dr. Evans and Mr. Williams. We returned to Earth from Mars.
Then it's happened. We're not alone anymore. Forgive me, gentlemen, if I seem moved. I've waited and hoped for so long.
You survived the radiation.
We did.
There are others.
My family. We are the only ones.
I answered the phone a moment ago. Who was it?
You heard my voice, Doctor.
Yours?
Yes. To break the loneliness. I've recorded my voice and rigged up an automatic telephone. It's pleasant to hear the phone ring. I come here to work.
I take it you are a medical man.
My name is Cornelius Hathaway.
Hathaway. Hathaway, the brain surgeon.
You know my name?
Who doesn't? I watched you on television at college. Why, I saw you 23 years ago. You performed a difficult surgery for a cerebral tumor.
Thank you. I'd almost forgotten. My mind, you see, I'm almost 80 now.
Well, you look fine, sir.
We've had the best of everything. An entire city to choose from. Cold storage, the best equipment. But come. There's a fine dinner waiting for you, and you want to meet my family. When I saw the ship come down, I told Alice, my wife, you know, to prepare a feast. This is a great day for me, gentlemen. A great, great day. Alice, come out to the porch and see who we have here. Alice, you here? Come out. My wife, gentlemen. Alice, Captain Parsons, Dr. Evans, Mr. Williams.
How do you do, Hathaway?
How do you do?
And now, if you will follow me in, gentlemen, we'll meet my children.
Lord, what a beautiful woman.
She looks no more than 35.
Do you suppose the radiation could have done that to her?
I don't know.
And these are my daughters, Susan and Marguerite, and my son, John.
How do you do? How do you do, sir?
Sit down, gentlemen, sit down. We'll have a feast in honor of this occasion. Susan, Marguerite, get the best silverware and the damask napkins. And John, fetch the champagne.
Yes, Father.
Excuse me a moment, John.
Sir?
How old are you?
23, sir.
Thank you.
What is it, Captain? Something wrong?
Nothing. Except that it's impossible. You see, Dr. Hathaway's son was already in college when I started. That would make him at least 45. That was a wonderful meal, Mrs. Hathaway. Doctor, your wife is an exceptional woman.
Thank you, sir.
How would you gentlemen like some fresh gingerbread with your coffee? I've baked it this morning.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Smell that, Doctor?
It's like coming home, Mrs. Hathaway.
It's like home having you here.
Mrs. Hathaway, may I compliment you on having preserved your youth and beauty so well?
Thank you. We have no worries here. No competition. All the things we need for material comfort.
Parsons and I were wondering, Dr. Hathaway, if the radioactivity had any effect in preserving tissue. Your children all look so young, too.
It is possible, gentlemen, of course. Radiation does strange things to living tissue. Alice, could we have some champagne? Alice.
Oh, I'm sorry. What, John?
Some champagne, please.
Champagne? Oh, yes, of course.
An amazing woman. Did you ever see such grace, such complete relaxation?
It doesn't seem quite natural.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen?
Captain Parsons was just about to ask how you and your family managed to escape, Dr. Hathaway.
We were very fortunate. You see, my home was in the Sierra Mountains at the time. I had a lead-lined laboratory in the basement where I did X-ray research. My hobby, you know. I chose this house because it was on a hill where I could watch the sky. Oh, the loneliness of those first years.
But at least you had your wife and children.
Yes, I had my family. If it were not for them, gentlemen, I assure you I would long ago have put a bullet in my head.
Champagne, Captain?
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Hathaway. May I propose a toast?
Oh, let me. Gentlemen, to Earth.
To Earth?
Earth. May she never be stranger to man. And...
Hathaway, what is it? You all right?
It's nothing. It's nothing, really. Just a rather sharp pain in the chest. Why don't you gentlemen go out on the porch and enjoy the air? You've had a long and tiring journey. Alice, we'll show you the way.
Will you be all right, John?
Yes, don't trouble yourself. I'll see you all in the morning.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night. Come, John.
Yes, Father.
Well, what do you think of old Mother Earth now, Williams? Smell that summer breeze. Look at that view of the city, lighted up against the sky.
It has a certain quality.
Well, score 1 point for the back-to-earth proponents.
I didn't say that.
You're beginning to feel it, though, Williams, I can tell.
If you don't mind, gentlemen, I'm quite tired. I think I'll turn in. Excuse me?
Well, Captain,
Well, what?
what do you make of all this?
I don't know what you mean.
This Hathaway and his family. There's something strange and unnatural going on here. I can sense it.
Oh, I think you're reading things into it, Doctor.
Perhaps. Well, I'll turn in, too. Coming?
In a moment, I want to smoke a cigarette.
It's a very beautiful view, is it not?
Why, I didn't hear you come out. How is he?
Resting. I've never seen him this bad.
Yes, he's an old man. I'm sorry, but the difference in your ages is so apparent. You must have been married very young.
You don't know about us, then?
No,
Perhaps it is better that way.
I don't follow you. Is it something about your husband? He acts very strangely.
My husband is a very great man, Captain. It is too bad there was no one to appreciate him. Once he wired the whole city with sound speakers. And when he pressed a button, the whole town lit up and made noises as if 10,000 people were living in it.
He must have been very lonesome. Although, with a woman such as you, I don't understand.
Perhaps one day you will understand.
I hope you will come to trust me as a friend.
I can trust no one but him. Good night, Captain.
Good night, Mrs. Hathaway.
Captain. Captain Parsons.
What are you doing? Who's there?
Dr. Evans.
Oh, what's wrong? What time is it anyway?
2 a.m.
What's wrong?
I couldn't sleep. A few minutes ago, I heard someone slip out the front door. In the moonlight, I saw it was the old man. He was headed toward the ship.
What are you suggesting, Doctor?
Nothing, except that it's fairly unnatural for an old man with a bad heart to go wandering off at 2 in the morning.
Very well. We'll follow him. This is far enough.
What do you suppose he's doing? What are those on the ground?
Good Lord, those are grave markers. 4 of them.
You're right. He seems to be praying over them.
Listen.
Do you forgive me for what I have done? I had to do it. I was so lonely. So terribly lonely. You don't mind too much? You do forgive me, don't you? Yes. Yes, I feel you do. I'm glad. I think perhaps I can rest now. I think
He's having another attack. Come on. Hathaway. Dr. Hathaway, can you hear me? Raise his head, Evans. Dr. Hathaway.
His lips are moving.
What is it, Doctor?
Closer. Lean closer. I'm sorry I had to spoil all of this. I've expected it for some time.
We'll fix you up.
No, I'm an excellent diagnostician. It really doesn't matter. Except for them.
What about them, Hathaway?
You suspected, didn't you?
Yes, I suspected. But I couldn't believe it until now. Do they know?
No, they wouldn't understand. I wouldn't want them to know. Ever.
Doctor?
He's dead, Captain. What was it he meant about your suspecting?
Light a match, Dr. Evans. Look on those 4 grave markers and tell me what you see.
Good heavens.
Well?
Alice Hathaway, Marguerite Hathaway, Susan Hathaway, John Hathaway. Died July 1987.
But that's 20 years ago. It's impossible. If these markers are correct, then who are those others?
Can't you guess, Doctor? Can't you guess? I'm sorry, Mrs. Hathaway.
He didn't want us to feel badly. He told us it would happen one day and that he didn't want us to cry. He didn't teach us how, you know. He said it was the worst thing that could happen, to know how to be lonely and unhappy. We weren't to know what death is.
Perhaps it's just as well.
You know about us, don't you?
Yes, I know. I didn't think you knew yourself.
The children don't. I have been aware for a long while.
No one would have guessed. You're so perfect.
He would have liked to hear you say that. He was so very proud of us. After a while, he came to love us, and at the end he took us as his real wife and children. He even forgot, sometimes, that he had made us.
You gave him a great deal of comfort.
Yes. Over the years we sat and talked. He loved so much to talk. I was first, you know. Then he became lonesome for the children, and so he made them. There was only one thing. One flaw.
And that?
He couldn't make us grow old. And so he had to watch himself become an old, old man while we stayed young. It was a great blow to him.
We'll bury him on the hillside where the other 4 crosses are. I think he would like that.
Yes, he would.
Mrs. Hathaway, Alice, I think that you are a very great and wonderful woman. And so we commend the body of this man, John Hathaway, to his Maker. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust returneth. Amen.
Come, John.
Yes, Mother.
Susan, Marguerite.
Evans, Williams, stay here a moment, please.
What is it?
Let them go back to the house. I want to speak to you.
I know what you're going to tell us, Captain. I saw the names on the grave markers.
Well?
It's a mockery, a blasphemy of everything we believe in. For a man to do something so evil.
Can't you imagine what he faced? Can't you imagine what it must have been like to have watched his wife and children die slowly of radiation burns? To know that he was the last man on the face of the earth. Alone. Eternally and unalterably alone. Good Lord, man. What would you have done if you'd had his medical and technical genius? I'll tell you. You'd have come back to your laboratory just as he did and tried to recapture all the wonderful things that they had been to you. You'd use all the power of your memory, all the accuracy of your fingers, and you'd try to put together, bit by bit, all those things that were wife, son, and daughter.
It's incredible.
So you suggest that we take them back, Captain?
I don't know. We haven't enough space in the ship for that. Every ounce counts. Still, to leave them here like that, alone...
I think I have an answer, cold-blooded as it may seem.
Go on.
I suggest that we turn them off.
Do you think I could do that?
No, but I think I could. After all, they aren't human. They're worse than robots. They're ghoulish. I suggest you go back to the ship, Captain, and leave me to deal with them.
I will not permit it.
You've no choice in the matter. I assure you it'll be quick and entirely painless.
I hate to admit it, but he's right, Captain. We can't take them with us, and it would be less than human to leave them here without Hathaway. They were created by him for himself. They have no other feelings, no other purpose. If you leave them, they'll go on year after year, night after night, talking, laughing, baking strawberry biscuits for no reason, not knowing who they are, why they exist.
Could you do it, Doctor?
I don't know.
I've already offered to do it.
No, I wouldn't want it to be you, Williams. You're sick. You have no feelings. If Dr. Evans here can do it, well, so be it.
It's a difficult thing, Captain.
Still, as you say, they aren't human. Logic is on your side. It isn't as if you were murdering someone. Well,
give me the blast gun, Williams.
We'll wait in the ship. Take off in half an hour.
Half an hour.
6:25. He should be back soon.
Yes.
He's doing the only humane thing, Captain. They're less than human.
Are they?
Well, it's done now, and no one will ever... That's the airlock. He's back.
Well, here's your gun.
Did you do it?
When I entered the house, one of the daughters looked up at me, and she smiled. The others smiled. He taught them that, taught them to make him feel welcome when he came home at night. I knew that, and yet... Well, I should have done it then. I might have, but she came in. The wife. She said something about sitting down for a cup of tea. She looked at me with those fine, intelligent eyes. I couldn't do it. It would be murder. Cold-blooded murder.
I prayed you wouldn't be able to do it. There will never be anything as fine as they are, you know. Built to last 100, 200, perhaps 1,000 years. Well, get the course in the integrator, Williams. We'll take off in 20 minutes. I should be back by then.
You're going out, sir?
I'm going to say goodbye.
You've come back.
Only to say goodbye.
It was nice of you.
I wanted you to know that I'm coming back.
Here? To us?
Here. To you.
I believe you.
I never meant anything more.
When will you come?
I don't know. It'll take many years to prepare fuel for another trip. 6, 7, perhaps 10 years.
I will watch the sky at night, just as he watched it.
I'm not a young man.
Time is nothing to me. I was born out of time.
I'm afraid I must go now.
I understand. Strange. I have a new feeling. One which he didn't teach us. A feeling of longing, of sadness.
That one is not taught. It comes of being alive.
Yes, I am alive. Even though he created me, I'm a person now.
Goodbye, Alice Hathaway.
Goodbye, John Parsons.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Dwellers in Silence, written by Ray Bradbury and adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were Anne Seymour, Carl Weber, Theodore Osborne, Richard Hamilton, Edwin Jerome, and Stan Early. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production. Don't forget, next week, X-1 will be heard on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Darkness has fallen on the Magic Island. Once more, the weird yellow glow of artificial daylight covers the scientific isle of Euclidia in the South Pacific Ocean. Joan Gregory and Jerry Hall returned hours ago to the captive Gregory yacht after a terrifying experience in one of the magnetic elevators, only to find Captain Tex Bradford and Mrs. Gregory are missing from the yacht. A note handed to Jerry by the skipper tells them that Mrs. Gregory and Tex are on a secret mission and to make no move until their return. All is silent on the island, while in the radio cabin of the yacht, Jerry and Joan listen to music from the radio and try to keep themselves cheered up as they wait anxiously for Mrs. Gregory and the captain.
I wish they would hurry, Jerry. I'm so worried.
Oh, cheer up, Joan. Tex can take care of your mother and himself, too.
I know Captain Bradford's a wonderful man, Jerry, and Mother thinks he can accomplish anything. But none of you realize fully the dangers on this horrible island.
Well, it won't help him any for us to run around yelling for him. Just sit still like this note said and listen to the music. Well, it's a good thing old G47 didn't stop our incoming radio beam anyway.
I like this music, Jerry. It's coming from one of your Hollywood radio stations, is it not?
Yeah, and those guys are real hillbillies, too.
What does it mean, this hillbilly? Are they all men from the hills? All with the name William?
Now, look, there's so many things you don't know that I don't know where to start teaching you. Do you like the music, or don't you?
Oh, yes, Jerry. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Well, then sit still and listen to it.
Stop it, Jerry. Stop that music.
Okay. There you are now. I'll hold it there, and you go ahead and talk while I listen to it.
No, stop it. Stop it, please, Jerry.
Okay. Hold everything.
Oh, I'm sorry to be so much trouble to you, Jerry, but I'm so nervous. And you also are nervous, Jerry.
Oh, nothing of the kind. I'm just as steady as a rock.
Then why are you chewing that lead pencil up?
Never mind me. You just sit still and quit worrying. They'll be along in a minute. I'd better leave this radio open on Johnson's wavelength, I guess.
Jerry, do you know all about my mother and Captain Bradford? I mean about all the mysterious things they do all over the world, and how they can have ships belonging to many countries helping them. So many things. Do you know about that, Jerry?
No, and Mrs. Gregory made me promise I wouldn't ask her any more about it. But we'll find out someday. Hey, now where are you going?
I was just going to look out over the island and see it.
No, you're not. Get away from that door. Now, what did I tell you? Didn't it say in the note for us to act just as if your mother and the captain were here on the yacht with us?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jerry, but I get so worried.
Well, so do I. But you'll get over there. Get over there and sit down. Go on, I said. Sit down.
Why, Jerry, you're wonderful when you speak like that. So commanding and masterful.
Oh, all us men are like that. We don't expect much from you women. And, of course, I'm 16 and you're only 15. Makes a lot of difference.
Oh, I'm sure it does, Jerry.
I wish they'd hurry, though. That yellow light is all over the island. And if they haven't got any of those strict glasses, they might get lost.
I think they would not be allowed to have the glasses, but they should be able to find their way back to the glare of the yacht lights.
Hey, quiet. Listen.
Why, what is it?
Shh, quiet, I said. Listen.
Someone's coming along the deck.
Sit still. We don't want to act too anxious.
Oh, Mother.
John, my dear.
Boy, am I glad to see you folks.
Sorry to leave you kids like that, but we had to get something done quick.
And Tex thought that if you didn't know anything about it, you wouldn't be subject to any danger over the idea.
Oh, Jerry and I had a terrible experience in one of the magnetic elevators.
Yeah, and Joan acted just like a girl. Started right in to cry.
Well, Jerry, you can't expect us women to be as brave as you men.
No, I guess I shouldn't. Well, Tex, did you get some plan of escape figured out?
I hope so. Pat and I took a long chance getting this thing. Is the cabin all tight?
Jerry and I have inspected the opaque cloth covering since the rain. The cabin is quite safe, Captain.
Good girl, Joan. Well, here's what we've got.
What's that? Looks like a pocket fire extinguisher.
That is one of the small oxygen tanks these scientists have in clips in nearly every room on the island.
I have never been allowed to touch one of those, Captain. Did G47 give it to you?
Not exactly.
Gee, you swiped it.
I'm afraid we did, Jerry. I don't approve of taking anyone else's property, but this means our chance to escape from the island, possibly our lives. So we took it.
But when the loss is discovered, G47 will be very angry.
That's why we've got to work fast. I knew they couldn't see me carrying this thing. I had it inside this coat of opaque cloth, but they'll soon discover it's gone.
I'll help you, Tex. What do you want to do?
Tell you in a minute, kid. First, I want to get Joan and Pat started on my celluloid diving suit. You three wait here while I go to my cabin and get it. I'll spring the lock on this door. Don't open for anyone but me.
You look so excited, Mother. Has the captain a good plan?
Yes, dear. Tex has a very fine plan. Not for our immediate escape, but for getting a message to Johnson so that he may arrange our rescue.
I know what it is. He's going to use that celluloid diving suit with this little oxygen tank inside of it to get through the ring of gas in the fog.
Yes, Jerry. The captain is going to try to swim out through that fog ring tonight. And he's going to put one of those homing pigeons inside the suit with him. Then he'll release it when he's safely outside the ring.
That is wonderful, Mother. And it may work if there's nothing metallic on the captain's clothing.
Yeah. Say, that oxygen tank might set off the alarm.
That's taken care of.
While you and Joan were gone, I helped the captain cement a lining of the opaque cloth into his celluloid diving suit and his swimming suit. The magnetism won't affect anything inside that cloth.
I think, Mother, that you and Captain Bradford are almost as clever as G47 and his scientists.
What do you mean, almost? Tex has got those Euclideans beat.
Okay, Jerry.
I'll let him in.
Now, we'll have to work fast. I put my swimming suit under this robe, so it won't take long to get ready.
Good.
Jerry, go up in front and get the other pigeon. Hide him under your coat as you did before and take your time.
Okay, Tex. I'll be careful not to be seen.
Now, Pat, if you and Joan will help me get into this thing.
What a peculiar garment, Captain.
It's airtight and opaque. That's all we need.
J12C to J24Y. Johnson to Bradford. Message for you.
Quiet for this.
Have had no word for you for hours. Transmission conditions perfect here in Los Angeles. Cannot understand why storm north of you should prevent reception by stations east of you. Latest report picked up from oil tanker at 24 degrees south. Says electrical disturbances south of them. Can you hear me, J24Y? If no answer, we'll repeat every quarter hour. That is all. Johnson.
Then there's no hope for the pigeon to reach him. He's gone back to Los Angeles.
Don't worry, Joan. That was all in code. Johnson is really standing by at latitude 24 south right now.
Yes, dear. And when he said he'd received a message from an oil tanker, it meant he had contacted an oil tanker and was refueled. So now he's ready for anything necessary to help us.
You have some clever and loyal friends, Mother. Will you tell me someday
yes,
just
Joan.
how...
Someday I'll tell you all about Tex and myself and how we're able to do so many things. But now...
It's me.
I'll let him in.
I got him all right, and nobody saw me.
Good boy. Now I'll tie this message to his leg. Then you can help Pat and Joan cement me up in this thing with the oxygen tank and the pigeon inside on my back. Then when I get well beyond the fog and gas rings, I'll rip the celluloid shirt off and turn the pigeon loose.
But how are you going to get back through the gas ring? You're going to ruin that suit taking the pigeon out of it.
That worries me, Jerry. Tex thinks he can hold his breath long enough to swim through the gas ring coming back. But I'm afraid. Oh, Tex, if anything should happen to you...
Oh, forget it, Pat. I'll make it. Now, the pigeon is ready. Open the tank so it barely releases the oxygen, Jerry. Joan, you help Pat cement this thing around my waist. Then you can slip the tank and the pigeon down my back and cement the helmet on.
That's about as little as I can let out of the tank. And be sure it'll be continuous, Tex.
Thanks, Jerry. Now, stick the tank down my back so it lays flat along the bulge where this thing is cemented to my swimming belt.
Coming up. Say, that's just going to fit in there.
Here's the pigeon, Tex. You're sure it won't get crushed?
No, there's plenty of space inside this stiff celluloid thing to give the pigeon room. Now, let him down in there easy now.
Little bird isn't a bit frightened, is it, Mother?
We've always been kind to it. It trusts us to continue being kind.
Here's your helmet, Tex.
Just a second. Now, last-minute instructions. I can't talk when that is on. Now, when you cement it all around my shoulders, you, Jerry, walk out on deck with me. Walk between me and the island. I'll have this robe of the island cloth over my head and shoulders. We'll both go to the engineer's quarters. You'll have to stay there till I get back.
But, Tex, how will we know if you get...
If I get into the water and start swimming out without being seen, it's all over but the shouting. So I'll have Jerry get the engineer to make 8 bells for you as soon as I disappear in the water. Okay, put it on.
Let's hold this edge here, Jerry. And you hold that down, Joan. Now hold it tight.
Yes, Mother.
Very tight and smooth while I put the cement around it. There. Now, hurry now. The cement will dry as you walk the deck, and I'm afraid something will happen any minute. Goodbye, dear, and good luck.
Bye, dear.
All clear, Mrs. Gregory. Throw that robe over his head.
All right, wait a minute. There.
I'll take his arm. Now, we're all set. See you later.
Oh, Mother, it's so wonderful of the captain to think of that.
Yes, dear. And it's so brave of him to attempt it. Oh, I hope we've fixed everything all right.
It seemed all right. And the oxygen tank will last a long time at the rate it was discharging.
I wonder how long it will take him. He said the engineer would make 8 bells for us when he's safely in the water.
It's only a few seconds until 8 o'clock now, Mother. So no one will notice anything out of the ordinary in the bells.
Yes, Tex figured on that, or he wouldn't have used it for a signal.
Isn't it about time now, Mother?
It shouldn't be long. The engineer was expecting him. Had the hatch open. He could get into the water noiselessly from there.
And if the pigeon gets away successfully, will it be sure of reaching Johnson's boat?
Easily, Joan. According to the position Johnson gave, he's only 5 degrees north of us, or about 345 miles.
Mother, the signal.
Yes, dear. Tex is gone. He's out in the water, swimming through that gas. Oh, Tex.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, with the big word contest closed in the Daily Planet, Clark Kent and Perry White fear that their latest effort to find Professor Sturgeon has been in vain.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. You know, Kellogg's Pep sure does have plenty on the ball. Pitches a winning game at breakfast every time. Just think of the scores you can chalk up for Pep. First, golden toasted sunshine flavor. Sunny full wheat flavor. A come-on flavor that keeps your spoon coming right back for more. Why, Kellogg's Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal. And Pep is a winner for crisp tenderness, too. Sure, every crunchy flake is light and delicate as can be. And does Kellogg's Pep score for nutrition? It's got loads of solid whole wheat nourishment and more. Your mom will tell you how good Pep is for you. Yes, sir. Kellogg's Pep is a dish your morning appetite can really latch on to. The sort of dish you want to concentrate on until you've eaten up every last bit in your bowl, which is a particularly hep idea nowadays, gang, because you wouldn't want to waste cereal when we're sending the cereal grains to help give good nourishment to fellows and girls overseas. So when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make sure there's no waste at your house. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. That's the right idea, gang. Eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Now, the adventures of Superman. When Professor Sturgeon, famous atomic scientist, was abducted and taken to the country of Bolomar, he was given a powerful drug, under the influence of which he revealed the secrets of the atom bomb. Then, working day and night, native and German scientists manufactured their version of the deadly bombs, and the dictator of Bolomar, known as the Rex, set noon of this very day for a surprise attack on the United States as his first step in world conquest. As we continue now, it is almost 9 a.m. in Metropolis, a few minutes before the 0 hour in Bolomar. Lois Lane and Horatio Horn, the little amateur detective, have just returned to Metropolis, and in Editor Perry White's office in the Daily Planet, Clark Kent is bringing them up to date. Listen.
Well, I was hoping our word contest in the Planet would pay off, that somebody would recognize Zoluto, the word you two heard Professor Sturgeon's abductors use, but guess it was no soap.
It's mighty strange. I don't know.
I was sure one of our readers would identify the word.
You were sure. You and your big ideas. I should have known better than to waste time and money.
There's your inter-office phone.
I can hear it. Yes? What is it, Miss Backrack?
There's a Mr. Partez here to see you, Mr. White.
Never heard of it. Tell him I'm...
He's here about the contest.
Well, tell him it's all over.
Well, I told him that, Mr. White, but he insists on seeing you. Something about an entry that didn't get mailed or something.
Excuse me, Chief. Tell Mr. Partez to come in, please, Miss Backrack.
Why of all the colossal nerve you...
Take it easy.
Take
it easy, Chief. What can we lose by giving this Mr. Partez a minute? He might be the answer to our prayers.
You think so?
Well, who knows? Why overlook any possibility?
Exactly. We run the contest a full week and nothing happens. And now, somebody walks in here, probably a crank who thinks he should have won the prize, and you...
Excuse me, please. I am Rodolfo Partez. My Eduardo, he's my son. He forgets...
Close that door, somebody! If I must be exposed to this, let's have a little quiet.
I'll close it, and if you want quiet, Chief, stop howling.
Who's howling? You are! What? You are.
Now, Mr. Partez, you were saying...
Si, senor. This letter, my Eduardo, I give him to mail. He talked with friend and forget to mail it to contest.
Well, what word in the contest is your letter about, Mr. Cortez?
Is the word saluto.
Saluto? Did you say saluto?
Si, senor. If you look at this letter...
Never mind the letter.
What's the language?
Speak up, man. Wait a minute.
All of
you give him a chance to speak. Now, Mr. Cortez, about this word saluto. What does it mean?
It means big fool, senor.
Great grasshoppers. Well, what country's language is this word from, Mr. Cortez?
A country I come from, senor.
Oh, what country is that?
Bolomar.
Where's that?
A small country far away in big mountains.
Yes, I know where it is. Say, this really adds up. Bolomar is governed by a dictator called Rex.
Si. And he is a very bad man.
Yeah, probably just a little 10-cent tyrant talking through his hat.
No, not if he has the atom bomb, he isn't.
No doubt about it, by Gulliver. Rex's agents must have abducted Professor Sturgeon.
And they may have the atom bomb secret right now. Chief, call Inspector Henderson. Call the State Department.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is a delicate proceeding. We can't accuse a country without adequate proof. Just because you think somebody said saluto... That's proof enough to warrant a little quick investigation, Chief. Mr. Cortez, you've done us a great service. Thanks very much. I'll see you again.
But wait, senor. The $100 prize for Maria's curtains and dishes and the new suit for Eduardo.
Yes, of course. Mr. White will give it to you. So long, everybody.
Now, wait, Kent.
Where are you going, Claude?
You'd be surprised. Be seeing you.
Hurrying across the city room, Clark Kent enters the deserted storeroom, swiftly strips off his business suit, and stands revealed in the blue costume and red cape of Superman. He steps to the window, opens it. Up, and away! Leaping from the Daily Planet, Superman veers and rockets away, flashing down across the country, over the Gulf of Mexico and out over the great ocean, bound for Bolomar. But even as he nears a long green coastline, streaks above it and heads for a chain of towering mountains, wrecks of Bolomar's fleet of jet-propelled fighter bombers, each marked with a tiger's head and star, and each carrying a shining, deadly atom bomb, has roared from the huge underground airport, circled above in the cloudless tropical sky, then zoomed away in formation. From the lead plane in which the Rex himself rides with the German Dr. Blumberg, General Maron, the dictator's voice crackles over the radio to his flight commanders.
Flight commanders, attention. We will proceed in formation to the Gulf of Mexico. There we will disperse as previously arranged in 10 squadrons. Each of you know the Yankee city you are to destroy. By midnight, the United States will be ours. Now, onward for your Rex and Bolomar.
Deadly jet planes loaded with their deadlier bombs spurt through the cloudless sky. Superman has crossed the last range of mountains, sighted them, and his keen sense of hearing has intercepted the Rex's message to his wing commanders. Now he calls on his powerful muscles for speed and flashes toward the 100 planes.
So, you're going to destroy our cities, are you? By midnight, the United States will be yours, eh? Well, maybe I'll have something to say about that. Get into those planes and smash them. Away! All right, here's the first one, carrying a pretty little atom bomb. I'll take care of that like this. Wow, that explosion almost took the wind out of me. There are two together. Get them. And here are two more. And two more. Now.
Flashing, darting, swooping, his red cape streaming from his shoulders, the Man of Steel dives in among the Rex's planes, batting them like so many flies, seeing them explode with a series of blinding flashes and a deafening roar like the end of time. Great plumes and funnels of smoke climb miles into the sky. Now those planes in close formation begin to explode of themselves as the shattering radioactive fragments of their neighbors reach them and touch into flaming death the atom bombs in their base. For a moment, Superman, awed by the mammoth conflagration that covers the sky with smoke and fire, pauses. Then, spotting a lone plane which had managed to maneuver out of the Holocaust and was streaking back to Bolomar, the Man of Steel rockets after it.
That's Bolomar's head man, Rex, in that ship. Got to get him alive so he can be tried for... Great Scott, I'm too late! The
Superman reaches out to grasp Rex of Bolomar's fleeing plane, a piece of falling wreckage unseen by the Man of Steel strikes the bomb-laden aircraft. In a blinding flash, it explodes, shooting the great section of its fuselage carrying the atomic bomb downward to shudder into the earth over the underground factories and laboratories of Bolomar. A split second later, the atom bomb shatters into life, blowing the hidden factories, laboratories, and cyclotrons high into the air. Then, disintegrating into dust, they fall slowly back to Earth. Late that afternoon, after Superman had returned with Dr. Sturgeon, extra editions of the Daily Planet scream the news of his latest exploit in the cause of peace. As again, in the guise and garb of Clark Kent, he stands with Editor Perry White, Lois Lane, and Horatio Horn in the Metropolis Railroad Station, bidding goodbye to the little amateur detective.
Sure you won't change your mind to stay in Metropolis, Horatio?
No. Thanks very much, Mr. White. But I've had enough excitement to last me a lifetime. I'm going back to Squeen Run, catch up on my sleep, and fishing, by Gulliver.
Professor Sturgeon wants to meet you, Horatio. He'd like to thank you for your part in saving his life.
Shucks, I didn't have much to do with it, Mr. Kent. But you did most... Oh, by Gulliver, that's my train. I've got to run. Goodbye, my friends and colleagues, and when you're in Squeen Run, be sure to look me up.
We'll do that.
Can't miss my house. My diploma from the famous correspondence school for Detectives Institute is framed on the gate post. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Have a nice trip. Well, there goes quite a character. I never would have believed it, but I'm going to miss that little man.
So am I. Well, let's get back to the office and wind up this Bolomar story. Then we'll go home and get some sleep. Oh, what a day.
Maybe we'll have a few days of peace and quiet now.
On the Daily Planet? I doubt it, Lois. We'll probably get back to the office and find another terrific story waiting for us.
I wouldn't be surprised, Clark.
You're right, Clark. A man is waiting for you in your office at this moment, with a story and a surprise which is going to jar you right down to your heels. Stand by for the beginning of a startling new Superman story.
Say, gang, how about adding a little extra zip to your weekend by adding a little extra zip to breakfast? Sure, have yourself a Blackberry Breeze, a mighty cool and catchy dish these summer days. That's this week's Pep Dish of the Week, and it's easy as a breeze to fix. You just pour your regular serving of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal, in your bowl. Then on top, scatter some blackberries that have been chilled in a little sugar. Add cool milk, and that's a Blackberry Breeze. Is it keen? Kellogg's Pep does a neat trick for those sugar-crusted berries. Because Pep is crisp, it's tender, it's full to the brim with snappy sunshine flavor. Why, Kellogg's Pep always tastes so bang-up good, you want to eat up every light, delicate flake in your bowl. And gang, nowadays the cereal grains are being sent to fellows and girls all over the world. So it wouldn't do to waste cereal. When Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make sure there's no waste at your house. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. And pass the word along to your younger brothers and sisters, too. Get the right habit, gang. Eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Coming back to the Daily Planet with Editor White and Lois Lane, Clark Kent enters his office to find a square-set, square-faced man with a thick mustache sitting in a chair. The man has a black derby hat and a rolled umbrella on his knees. And now he transfers them to one hand as he rises and stretches out his other hand to Kent.
Mr. Kent? Mr. Clark Kent?
Why, yes. Who are you?
Glad to make your acquaintance, Superman.
What did you say?
I said I'm glad to make your acquaintance, Superman. I've come a long way to meet you.
Startled, his jaw dropping, Clark Kent stares down at the square-set, square-faced man who has just called him by his real name, and who now stares back at him unwaveringly. Who is this stranger who seems aware of one of the most carefully guarded secrets in the world, the secret of Superman's double identity? Fellows and girls, on Monday we're beginning one of the most fascinating Superman adventures. One in which the Man of Steel is called upon to exert not only every ounce of his amazing physical powers, but his brain as well, to meet the greatest challenge of his entire career. So be sure to be with us when our story starts. Tune in Monday, same time, same station. And
remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, gang, when you think of famous names, do you think of Kellogg? You know, that's the greatest name in cereals. And Kellogg makes Kellogg shredded wheat, the tender, plump biscuits made just the right size to fit your breakfast bowl. And are they good? Full to the brim with natural nut-sweet flavor. Good for you, too. Sure, they're made of nutritious whole wheat. What's more, Kellogg gives you 15 delicious biscuits in every package of Kellogg shredded wheat. Try them soon. And be sure to be with us on Monday for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You stare down from the heights of your plane, and your brain keeps whispering, it's Masafuera, that's all it is. Just an island 300 miles off the coast of Chile. But both you and the beautiful girl beside you know it's more than that. It's the last stop, the last time around. A death trap from which there is no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you Tony Barrett's story, The Target.
The drink, senor. You see how quick?
Another one of your talents. You can make like a waiter when necessary, huh?
In Chile, senor, the man does many things to live. The waiter was busy, so I got the drinks. It's not a reason for anger.
All right, Pepe, all right, forget it.
You are angry.
Look, let's not play games. He's an hour late now. Where is he?
Perez? He will be here. I watch with great care. He has not come in yet. Trust me, senor.
Haven't got much choice, have I? Is being late, is that part of the build-up, part of the sale?
You demand promptness in informers, senor?
You ought to be used to it by now, huh? You never get used to it. Because you want something. An assurance that this time you're buying the right thing, the magic word,
senor.
The whereabouts of Arthur Matson. And you fall for it every time. And move on to where the whispered word said to go. Caracas and Lima, Cochabamba, and now Tautan. Tautan. Sit in one more crummy little bar, wait for one more sly little man with a word for sale.
How long you search for him, this Arthur Matson?
A year. You watching that door? You sure Perez hasn't come in? You sure you know him?
I know Perez, senor. Why don't you relax yourself, senor? Think of something of more pleasantness.
Like what?
Like the lady of great beauty in the next booth. From your country, is she not, senor?
Yeah, way off base.
Okay?
A joint like this, she must be out of her mind. Well, that's fine. All we need now is a beef. Go see what it's all about, Betty.
See, I'll be right back. Senor Kennedy, come here quickly.
Betty, what is it?
Look, senor. There on the floor. Is he dead, senor?
What do you think? That knife's got him pinned to the floor.
I'm sorry for your sake, senor.
What are you talking about?
The dead one. He is the one you are waiting for. He is Paris. Another blank. Another dead end.
What is it? What happened?
Forget it.
I've got to see.
You wouldn't want to. It used to be a man named Perez.
Listen, get me out of here now. Please, I can't be found here.
Relax. It's a killing. Want a drink?
I've got to get out, please.
Pepe, wait here for me. Come on, lady. Stay close to me. There's a cab.
Aren't you coming?
No, you'll be all right. Cops will be here in a few minutes. A lot of questions. They'll want answers.
Tell the driver Cuevas Hotel.
Carretera. Tiene la señorita al Hotel Cuevas. I'm at the Royale. Call me in an hour.
Who will I ask for?
Kennedy. Vic Kennedy. My turn.
Eve Coleman.
You'll call?
In an hour.
She was lovely, senor.
Yeah.
What will you say if the police ask about her?
That she didn't like blood.
Bueno.
Come on, Pepe. You know what the deal will be. The cops will come. They'll see. They'll ask questions. And it'll end in drinks for everyone.
Because life here is cheap, no?
I didn't make it that way. Come on, I'll buy you a drink. We'll drink to Perez.
He was an informer, senor.
You always drink to a dead man. Even if you wouldn't give him the time of day while he was alive.
If you say so, senor.
I say.
You are an unhappy man, senor. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm an unhappy man.
Once in your room, you will sleep, senor.
I told you I want to talk. Come on.
Buenas noches, Senor Kennedy.
Evening. Any messages for me?
No, senor.
You sure? No phone calls?
No, senor, I'm sorry.
Get me Miss Eve Coleman at the Hotel Cuevas.
Of course. You take it in your room, senor.
I'll take it here.
Momentito.
Senor, you sure you don't want...
Stick around, Pepe.
Hola, por favor, la señorita Coleman está aquí. Senor Kennedy, you said Senorita Eve Coleman.
That's what I said.
La señorita Coleman no está aquí. Gracias. I am sorry, senor, but there is no one registered there by that name. Senor.
All right, forget it.
The lovely one who did not like blood?
Yeah. This ain't my day.
Senor, why don't you...
I told you I didn't want to sleep. I want to talk.
Well. Do come in, dear boy, do. Surprised?
Yeah. I was under the impression this was my room.
That's not much of a greeting for a man who's come all the way from Hartford just to see you. You getting all your manners, Kennedy?
This is Pepe Galvan. Mr. O'Brien, Pepe, chief claims man of the company that puts clothes on my back. Be nice to him. He's a big man.
I think I better...
Yeah, Pepe. Social call, O'Brien? Come 2,000 miles just to see me? You're spending company money.
Oh, we've plenty of it, dear boy. Even after pouring your expenses down the drain. Considerable expenses, I'd say. Sit down.
You can take me off at any time you like. You got a better man? Put him on it.
No, dear boy. Temper. Wouldn't be fair to you, would it, Kennedy? After all, Arthur Matson was in your custody when he escaped with his bank's $100,000.
You come all this way, just tell me that.
They've a new idea back home, Kennedy. That perhaps you're not trying too hard to find Arthur Matson.
that from your point of view, it might be just the thing you don't want to do. I make myself clear?
You don't have to fire me, O'Brien. I quit right now.
Now, don't be an idiot, Kennedy. You be telling them they were right. You'll never get another insurance job as long as you live. You know Santiago, Kennedy?
Boat's still run. I can get there. Why?
Well, I didn't come down here just to fight with you. You got one last chance. Now, listen to me. Malsafuera is an island 300 miles off Santiago. I know where it is, senor. A return on an office wanted describes an American living there. The description fits Arthur Matson. You hear me?
I heard you. I'll take a look.
Do, dear boy, do. Huh? Now tell them back in Hartford that you're still trying. Bye, dear boy. Bye.
Pepe, you really know Santiago?
Si, senor.
You still got a job. Get down to the docks, get passage for both of us for tomorrow.
Si, senor. It's a 3-day trip, you know, on a fruit boat.
I'd have to make this one if it was a rowboat. Pick me up in the morning.
The cabin is not so bad, senor. You wish to...
No, I'll go out on deck for a while. You unpack.
Si, senor. I do that.
I never even said thanks, did I, Vic? Vic? You're angry.
No.
You're angry you helped a girl who never said thanks.
And never called. Why? Was it too much trouble?
Poor Vic. Sweet Vic.
Pigeon, Vic. Si, senor. This is the Hotel Cuevas. No, senor. Is no lady here by name of Eve Coleman. Sorry. Now, why? A joke? A whim? What?
Not a whim.
I want an answer.
It's too long a story. Vic. Sweet Vic.
I got the time.
We got the time. You're wasting it. You're waiting. You talk too much, you know that?
Yeah. Bad habit. Let's go sit down. I'll set up these deck chairs. Here you are.
Happy?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Deck chairs should always touch. Closer, darling.
Better?
You know, someday somebody's going to get smart and make a deck chair for two. You're quiet.
It's the setup. To sit with a girl like you to look out at places with names like Antofagasta, Caldera. You could get to like it.
Yes.
Eve.
Yes?
Eve, the way you ran out on me in Taltan. Now you're here.
Questions. I can see them coming.
Where are you going?
To get dressed. I see you at dinner, darling. You'll be pleased.
Senor?
Sit down, Pepe.
You look like a man who is in love, but is not happy about it. Something wrong, senor?
Old habit. Occupational hazard. You always add. If 2 and 2 don't come up 4, it's bad. If it comes 4 too easy, bad again.
Si, senor.
I want you to get a radiogram off for me to Hartford, Connecticut, to an insurance company.
What is it, Vic?
Nothing.
Nothing, the man says, just like that. And his eyes narrow and his lips tighten, and he wonders how to begin. And when I ask him, what does he say? Nothing. That's what he says. And he fingers a sheet of paper in his pocket. hopes I don't notice it.
Very pretty. You're good with words.
Vic.
I got a present for you. A new set of words, and they hurt.
Vic, please.
Because they tell me something. That there is no Eve Coleman. Only a girl who calls herself that. A girl who's...
Who's really Mrs. Arthur Matson?
Yeah.
That's who I am. Mrs. Arthur Matson. Any complaints? Any... Vic! Hi, Vic.
You are listening to The Target, tonight's presentation of Escape. Tune in Monday night and meet Corliss Archer here on CBS Radio. Remember, on most of these stations, every Monday night, come on and meet Corliss Archer. And now back to Escape and the second act of The Target.
Where is it?
It's Laura. Invite me in, Vic?
You know the way in.
They asked me if you were seasick when you didn't show for dinner.
I'm sick.
I missed you.
Yeah.
Did it hurt to stay away from me, Vic? Tell me how much it hurt.
Get out of here.
Is it the name? Is that what bothers you? Why don't you try it, darling? It's easy. Laura Matson. Nice?
What is it with you? What kind of dame are you?
You ask that? You?
Look.
At what? A child who reached for the moon and sulked because he found it a different color? You can't afford to sulk, Vic, not you.
What?
The last time I saw my husband was an hour after his escape from you. How does a little man like Arthur Matson get away from a man your size, Vic? How? He buys us.
You're out of your mind.
You want the price? $5,000. Arthur told me. Hurting me won't change it, darling. Doesn't change anything.
You lied, dear. You hear what I say?
I don't care. Don't you understand that? Not about any of it. I love you, darling.
I...
Say it. I want to hear you say it. Vic.
I love you, Laura.
Senor.
Did you find out anything?
Catch my breath.
Where
senor.
is she, Pepe? Where? I tried her cabin every place.
Easy, senor. I just found out from one of the seamen. He saw her leave the moment with Doc. She was the first one off.
What? Well, she couldn't have... You sure?
It's what he say. It must be so, senor. She's nowhere to be found. I'm sorry, senor.
Now, you take the stuff to the hotel. I got things to do. Be with the Santiago police most of the day.
Which hotel, senor?
What's the best?
Casa Santiago. Right on the beach. It's nice for swimming.
All right, that's it then. Last time around, might as well go first class.
Must have been a long visit with the police. It's after 8, senor.
Haven't seen the chief yet. He's at the other end of the city all day. Should be here in any minute.
Then I see you in the morning. You like the room, the radio?
Yeah, fine.
Senor Kennedy?
That's right. You, Captain Delgado?
Very late, Delgado, with much apology.
Well, what? Come on in.
for taking so long to return your call.
Oh, forget it. You didn't know I was coming.
But, of course, I did, senor. Your Senor O'Brien said so.
Sit down, senor. Drink?
A nice idea, senor. Very nice.
O'Brien phoned you, huh?
See, I think we talked for maybe 20 minutes. A long time.
Yeah, O'Brien can talk. Here's your drink.
Gracias. A cara lo que merezca, senor.
My Spanish isn't that good.
Translation. To each what he deserves. How you call philosophical, no?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure O'Brien told you the whole setup, then.
See, everything.
Uh-huh. What do you think?
It's possible this Arthur Madsen is on Masafuera. If so, he won't be hard to find. A wild island, senor. Beautiful, but no different than it was thousands of years ago.
Primitive, huh?
See, they will know if an American lives on that island.
They, don't you know?
O'Brien, amigo, he asks me the same question, and I try to explain to him.
Explain? Explain what, Delgado?
The simple fact that Masafuera is just an island and that I have no, how you call, jurisdiction there. Comprende?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Then we have no problems.
None.
Bueno, the day has been long, and the bed will be as a friend. If there is anything I can do for you here in Santiago, you will give me that pleasure?
You've done it already, senor.
And then I say good night to you, senor, and good hunting. I hope you find this Arthur Madsen before she does.
She?
The young lady. The lovely young lady who asks my lieutenant about Madsen only this afternoon. Buenas noches.
Open your eyes, Vic. For me.
Laura.
A man alone on the beach at night is trying to wash something out of his mind.
Oh, Laura.
No questions? No where have you been?
I know where you've been. Doesn't matter.
Say it, Vic. I want to hear it.
I love you, Laura.
I can't.
I love you.
Oh. Sweet Vic. Laura, isn't it?
Worried, Vic. Madsen, what are we going to do about him?
Kill him, darling.
Why, Laura? Why?
You've always known you'd have to do it.
Now, listen.
You took a bride, darling, remember. I don't want my Vic in prison. I want him with me. Close to me. Kill him, darling.
Laura.
All that money. Little nothing like him sitting on an island with all that money. Our money. You hear me, darling? You understand?
Our money, Laura.
There's a plane in the morning to Masafuera. We'll be on it together.
We'll be on it. Like manhunting, Laura?
Oh, not 8 hours of it.
Delgado didn't tell me it was all uphill.
Vic.
Huh? What is it?
Clearing just ahead. I think it's the top.
It better be. Come on.
In time for dinner, Mr. Kennedy. I waited almost a year for you. You're looking well, tired, but well.
Hello, Arthur.
You want to freshen up, my dear.
Arthur.
And while you do, I'll entertain Mr. Kennedy. Show him what my island has to recommend it. Freshen up, Laura.
Madsen.
Now, let me play host, Kennedy. I'm out of practice, but let me try. drink, Laura? Yours, Kennedy? Lost his mind. Is that what you're thinking, Kennedy? That Arthur Matson lost his mind? A man who shows you a shabby little house he loves and a stone terrace he built himself and makes you a drink as civilized people do. Values change, Kennedy. This is all I care about now. This terrace, the view from it, even the rocks 100 feet below. A great lesson, Kennedy. From here, everyone's a little man.
I'm glad you're happy, little man.
How am I going to die, Kennedy? Will you use a knife? A gun? How?
What's the matter with you?
I don't mind. Not really. I've had a year away from her. A whole year. You'll pray for your island. It won't take too long.
You're crazy.
Laura's doing better with you, Kennedy. You're going to kill for her. I only stole for her.
You stole for yourself, Matson.
So, that's what she fed you. Oh, poor Kennedy.
Shut up. Shut up.
You told him I had the money, Laura? Lovely, lovely.
Kill him, Vic. Now. What are you waiting for?
Who's got it, Matson? Who?
She has, you idiot. She's always had it, but I'm the only one who knows it, aren't I, Laura? With me alive, you'd never be safe, never be completely sure. You're going to do your own killing, Laura.
You let him live too long, Vic. He shouldn't have said that. Don't move, Vic.
You're going to kill us both, Laura?
Both.
Like you killed the little man in the bar back in Towtown?
I bought that, darling. You were getting too close. Say goodbye, Arthur. Nicely.
Not alone.
No.
I won't go alone.
No! Vic! Help! Help me!
You don't need help. Not anymore. I need it now.
Under the direction of David Friedkin and Morton Fine, Escape has brought you The Target, a story by Tony Barrett. Featured in the cast were Whitfield Connor and Mary Jane Croft. Also heard were Edgar Barrier, Herb Butterfield, Hans Conried, Melissa Milo, and Jay Novello. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You're at the end of a journey you've committed murder to make. A barren wasteland of India, silent, desolate, where there is a cave and a carved image of the goddess Kali, whose heart is a ruby big as a grenade, and which is guarded by a smiling old man, from whom there is no escape.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Ross Murray's story, The Red Heart of Kali. An honest doctor resists temptation but gets into trouble anyway tomorrow night when Mr. and Mrs. North bring us their latest thrilling mystery. Don't forget, CBS Radio has a date for mystery with Mr. and Mrs. North tomorrow night, and you're welcome too on most of these same stations. Stay tuned now for Night Watch, which follows immediately over most of these stations. Where there's Gunsmoke, there's Western Adventure, Monday nights on the CBS Radio Network.
Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are trying to get out of a huge castle on the planet Venus, where Polydor is holding them prisoner. The two Space Patrollers are struggling to open a heavy door.
Oh, it's locked. But in a castle this size, there must be more doors.
The chances are Polydor has them all locked.
Yeah, by electronic control. Hey, Commander, something smells strange.
I noticed it, too.
No, my eyes are burning.
We've got to find Polydor and take our chances. He's flooding the castle with poison gas.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Robot of Vortena. Hi, gang. Captain Dick Tufeld and...
The Man from Mars.
Reporting to you on...
The Man from Mars Totem Head with... Magic Forehead Vision.
And, gang, this is the very last time we can offer you this terrific totem head on Space Patrol. So you better hurry. Get your box tops and quarters in the mail right away.
Space Patrollers, this is Cadet Happy.
Alias the Man from Mars.
And Smoking Rockets, get yourself a totem head. Put it on, and you can be a man from Mars, too. With magic forehead vision and two faces, one in front and one in back. Play neat tricks on your pals with magic forehead vision. You can see them, they can't see you. Works like a pair of X-ray eyes. With those two faces, you're coming and going both at the same time. And jumping Jupiter. The totem head is more than 12 inches high in real Martian colors. Red and yellow, green and black. Fantastic ears, nose, teeth, and a swell pointed head. But remember, this is the last time we can offer it. So send for yours today.
Cadet Happy.
The Man from Mars
is right, Space Patrollers. So for every totem head, send a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, together with your name and address, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And don't forget your 25 cents.
That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri.
And now today's Space Patrol adventure, The Robot of Vortena. The Secretary General of the United Planets has just sent a spaceophone message from Jupiter asking Commander Corey to deliver some important documents to the Secretary's daughter, Carol. Right now, Buzz and Happy are in the Secretary General's home on the man-made planet Terra. The commander hands the sealed pouch to Carol.
Since you're going to Jupiter in your own ship, Carol, I think it'd be a good idea if I assigned a Space Patrol agent to go with you.
Surely no one but Father, you and Happy know that I'm carrying the papers, so what's to worry about?
Lately, a lot of things we thought were secrets turned out to be otherwise.
He means Polydor, Carol.
Oh, Polydor. I'm sure he's after more important information than what I'm taking to Father.
Carol, there's information in this pouch that could be worth millions of credits. And Polydor isn't the only crook who'd like to get his hands on it.
Buzz, you sound so serious.
I just want you to realize that with those papers in your ship, it's no longer a pleasure trip. It's government business.
Of course. Don't worry. I'll get them to Dad at the governor's conference. Buzz, did Father suggest a bodyguard for me?
No. If you had, there'd be one aboard your ship with no argument.
I suppose an escort would be a tip-off if this was an official trip.
Yes, it would, since you usually make space trips by yourself. That's another reason I'm not insisting. I'll have to, I'd better be going.
Oh, do you have to?
It's getting close to 2200, Carol. Isn't that when you were planning to blast off?
Golly, Moses, I had no idea it was so late. I still have some last-minute packing to do.
Of course. Come on, Hap.
Yes, sir. Have a nice trip, Carol.
Oh, thanks, Happy.
Goodbye, Carol, and be careful.
Goodbye, Buzz. And thanks.
Just a minute. Did I startle you, Miss Carlyle?
What are you doing here?
Is that any way to talk to a Space Patrol lieutenant?
You're not a Space Patrol lieutenant.
All right, so I stole the uniform. I look like a lieutenant.
Well, Lieutenant, I'll just get Commander Corey.
Stay right where you are. If you try to scream, I'll use this ray gun.
Who are you? What do you want?
Why, I'm your escort. I'm going to get aboard your ship with you at the spaceport.
You must be out of your mind. All I have to do is...
You were about to say that all you have to do is signal the guards and they'd grab me. Isn't that right? I advise you not to try it, Miss Carlyle. If anything happens to me, I have friends on Jupiter where your father is.
You wouldn't dare harm my father.
Come, Jethro, you're wasting time.
Oh, what was that?
One of my friends. He's on another planet, but he can see and hear us perfectly.
Polydor.
Yes.
Jethro, take the girl and the document, and hurry.
Where's the voice coming from?
From a small device called a detectoscope.
When your father had this room redecorated last week, one of the workmen installed it.
In all this time...
I've heard many interesting conversations, Miss Carlyle. Your father has such important guests.
Come, Miss Carlyle. If we're noticed at the spaceport, it'll merely appear that a Space Patrol officer is escorting the Secretary General's daughter to Jupiter.
Elsewhere, in the Coronine Mountains of Venus, hundreds of miles from the nearest city, stands the Castle of Vortena. It was built during the 25th century by a wealthy space merchant as a showplace to entertain his friends in interplanetary commerce and society. Now, 5 centuries later, it is a deserted, crumbling ruin. It is here that Jedro has brought Carol.
Here she is, Polidor.
Welcome to Vortena Castle, Miss Carlyle. Jedro, did you have any trouble?
No, but I'd better camouflage Carol's spaceship.
Yes, and later you can move it into the hangar under the mountain. Miss Carlyle, do you know who I am?
You're a criminal who calls himself Polidor.
Yes, and you are one of the few people in the universe who have met me face to face as Polidor. As Commander Corey now knows, I'm Rudolph Janet, retired research chemist and amateur astronomer.
I'm not the least interested or impressed.
Aren't you curious why you were brought here?
No.
Of course you are. By bringing you here with the documents, I have a powerful control over Commander Corey.
What do you mean?
Isn't it obvious? To ensure your safety, Corey won't be quite as reckless in his efforts to capture me.
Then you're going to let him know you abducted him?
No, I'm going to lead Corey into a trap. Jedro.
Yes, Polidor.
Take Miss Carlyle's identification bracelet. See that it's delivered to Corey at the Terra headquarters according to plan.
Right.
And now, Miss Carlyle, after I lock you in your room, I'll set the stage for Corey's downfall.
Hours later, in the central office at Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, a very worried Commander Corey talks on the intercom to a security captain.
He's now 4 hours overdue at Jupiter City.
All private commercial ships have been alerted, sir, just as you ordered. So far, report negative.
I talked to the space control operator who checked her out through the airlocks last night. Her ship blasted off on schedule.
Yes, I know. I talked to the gate patrolman who saw Carol get aboard with her bodyguard.
Commander, here's...
Just a minute, Captain. Captain, what did you say about a bodyguard?
I said I checked with the gate patrol at the spaceport. I found a man who saw Carol board her ship with this space patrol lieutenant.
Carol was going alone. I didn't assign an escort.
What?
Captain, get hold of the gate guard. Get a description of that lieutenant and check with personnel and operations. Alert the officer locator section.
Yes, sir.
Hurry out. Captain, did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
That was one of our officers with Carol. He'll have signed out with space operations.
Unless he's gone OPWL.
We haven't had an off-planet without lead case in 5 years. I think the lieutenant was a phony, and a checkup will prove it.
Oh, sir, this package is for you. A private messenger brought it.
I'll look at it later. Who's it from?
It doesn't say. It's marked urgent, personal, and official business.
Open that half. I'm getting out a special search plan on Carol.
Yes, sir. Look, and look, it's Commander. Look.
A girl's bracelet. Captain, let me see that. It's Carol's.
Yes, sir. The identification bracelet her father gave her for her birthday.
I see that piece of paper.
Yes, sir.
I have information that will help you locate Carol Carlyle. Through a set of circumstances, I was able to obtain this bracelet without the knowledge of her actual abductors. This puts me in a dangerous position. Still, I feel it my duty to cooperate with the Space Patrol.
Wow, does that sound phony?
There's more. If you, Commander, will land on Jupiter Moon number 6 at exactly 1900 hours Universal Start Time, I'll give you what facts I have. I regret being forced to use this indirect method, but to contact you openly would cost me my life.
He just happened to find Carol's bracelet. Does he think they're going to fall for that?
Under the circumstances, there's only one thing to do. We're blasting off for Jupiter number 6.
At 1900 hours Universal Start Time, Buzz lands the Terra 5 on the airless surface of Jupiter's 6th moon at a point directed in the anonymous message. Moments later, a small private cruiser arcs in and hovers until Buzz and Abby step out of their ship in their spacesuits unarmed. The cruiser settles slowly down to the rocky satellite and cuts rockets. For long minutes, the space patrollers wait. Then, slowly, the cruiser's hatch opens, a ladder is lowered, and Buzz and Hattie stride forward.
I'll go first, Hap. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are aboard. Show yourself.
Proceed forward.
What happened?
It sure is dark. They light the ship with fireflies?
That's close enough, gentlemen. Stand right there.
Where's Carol Carlisle? There are certain preliminaries, Commander.
Let's get to them. Close that hatch so we can open these space pieces and talk man to man.
Our conversation can best be carried on as we are, in our spacesuits.
You've got us at a disadvantage. You can see us, but we can't see you. Your note said you weren't connected with whoever abducted Carol Carlisle.
That is correct. I am not.
Then why are you wearing that one-way vision face piece?
Yeah, and why the dim lights?
Yes, for an innocent man, you're taking a lot of precaution.
Please, if you'll listen, you'll understand. May not approve, but you will understand. I do know the men who are holding Miss Carlisle.
Yes, and you're afraid of reprisals. You're scared. Now what?
I want to ask a favor. In exchange for certain information.
Keep talking.
I have here on this small duty desk a bundle of currency. 200,000 credits. I want you to deposit it in the Terra Bank to the account of E.J. Whitney.
Then if I promise to deposit the money, you'll tell me where to find Miss Carlisle?
Yes. Now will you deposit the money?
Uh-huh. If you can prove that Carol is safe.
That's easy. The spacephone has been on since you came aboard. Hold the door. Put the girl on.
Hold the door. We might have known it. Carol, this is Buzz. Can you hear me?
Yes, Buzz.
Watch what you say, all of you.
Are you all right? Have they harmed you?
No, I'm all right.
Sounds like Carol.
Buzz, this is crap. They're going to frame you. Listen.
That's enough of that.
Bulldozer's got Carol, but we've got you.
Is that so?
Commander, he closed the hatch. Hope that we're taking you to our ship.
You are?
Got him, Happy? I've got him. Oh!
That takes care of the cadet. Now, Commander, you're next.
I'm going to open that face piece of yours and give you a...
That's your match this time, didn't you, Corey? I'll just pick you up, slam you against the bulkhead. Just like babies. Now I'll haul you boys back aft and blast off for Venus.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Totem poles, and more totem poles. Tall ones, small ones, middle-sized ones. In every Space Patroller's backyard, they're going up. All of them made out of those super scary, super spooky Man from Mars totem heads, stacked one on top of the other. Say, gang, how about yours? Have you started building your totem pole yet? Well, if not, you'd better hurry, because today is positively the last time we can offer you on Space Patrol the terrific Man from Mars totem head. Yes, sir, today is the last day I can tell you about the fantastic fun you can have with the Man from Mars totem head. And Magic Forehead Vision. That's the special secret vision plate on each totem head. When you wear it, you can see out, but nobody can see in. Colored red, yellow, green, and black, the Man from Mars totem head is more than 12 inches high, with a face in front and a face in back. 2 pointed ears, 4 weird eyes, a beak-like nose, and fang-like teeth. Get 1 or 2. Wear them one on top of the other. Fool your friends and scare your pals. And remember, you can see them, but they can't see you with Magic Forehead Vision. So get lots of totem heads. Stack them one on top of the other, and you have an honest-to-goodness totem pole to guard the door to your room or the gate to your backyard. But send for them right away, because today is the last time we can offer you the Man from Mars totem head. So for everyone you want, send a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, together with your name and address, and 25 cents in coin, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Don't forget your 25 cents. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, the robot of Vortena. Carol Carlisle has mysteriously disappeared on a space flight to Jupiter. Following instructions in an anonymous note delivered to Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Buzz and Happy blasted off to Jupiter's 6th moon. Meeting the informer, a man whose identity was completely hidden by his spacesuit, Buzz learned that Carol is being held captive by the super criminal Polidor. Carol's spaceophone warning that they were in a trap caused the Space Patrollers to attack their treacherous informer. Amazingly, Buzz and Happy were overpowered, apparently with ridiculous ease for their adversary. Right now, they've regained consciousness in a dimly lit room.
Commander, are you okay?
I'm still groggy from that slamming around.
Lucky we had our spacesuits on. We'd have plenty of broken bones. Hey, we're not in our spacesuits now.
No, we're not in that cruiser anymore.
Stone floor, stone walls, we're on land. But what land?
Well, the immediate problem is to get out of here.
Yeah. I don't know who that guy was, but he could be the wrestling champ of the solar system.
He handled both of us like we were a couple of kittens.
And that's what'll trap him eventually. He took the trouble to hide his face, yet he displays the one characteristic that will set him off anywhere in the universe, his incredible strength.
Yeah, but suppose he's smart and doesn't play Samson again.
Now, a man that could resist every temptation to show off just isn't human. Just isn't human.
Sir, somebody's coming.
Oh, so you two finally came out of it, huh? Don't try anything.
Get him. A gun in one hand and a toolbox in the other. Must be hunting for work.
Well, that's it. Have your fun while you can.
Hey, Commander, this is the fellow that was in that cruiser. I recognize his voice.
You're very clever. Come on, let's go, both of you.
Where?
Volador wants to talk to you. Here, Cadet, you lug this tool case.
Me? I don't know whether I can. If it gives you trouble, well, I'll try it. It's not so heavy.
Out the door. You first, Cadet. Now, Corey.
Now what?
Drop that gun! I'll get it, Commander.
Met your match this time, didn't you?
Oh, the rockets, Commander, you took care of him easy. But in his ship, he tossed us around like nothing.
I could tell he wasn't superhuman the way he carried that toolbox.
Say, maybe it was the spacesuit that gave him extra power. A spacesuit with muscles.
This man wasn't in that spacesuit.
But, sir, his voice. It's the same as on the chip. Somebody's coming.
Give me that ray gun. Stand back.
Commander, look. A robot.
Shut the door. Try to keep it out.
That's no use, sir. He's stronger than both of us together.
This is what licked us before, the robot.
It's coming after us.
I'll try the ray gun, but I don't think it'll work.
Never even phased it.
Hand over the weapon, Commander.
Volador's voice, coming out of a robot.
The gun, Commander. Or do you want the robot to take it away from you? That could be quite painful, you know.
Okay. Catch.
He caught it.
No, testing the robot's reflexes, weren't you, Corey? Like his strength, they're superhuman.
What have you done with Carol?
You are going to see her in a moment. She's in the other part of the dungeon.
Dungeon?
Of course. You're in Vortena Castle on Venus. Now, since you have knocked my friend out, the robot will escort you to Miss Carlyle's suite.
So, the robot was wearing the spacesuit. Now I don't feel so ashamed of getting licked.
Chedro was here in the castle all the time. You heard his voice through the detectoscope on the robot's head.
The robot piloted the ship from Jupiter's sixth moon here to Venus.
Yes. The robot is quite clever, provided he's controlled by a clever man. Out the door, gentlemen, and left to the corridor.
Let's go ahead.
Unbolt the door, Corey, and go in.
Hush, Captain. It's my fault you're here.
Take it easy, Ken.
Volador didn't get rough with you, did he?
No, I'm all right, but I shouldn't have warned you.
Forget it. Happy and I would have tackled this robot anyway.
Sure.
Such an ugly, horrible thing.
Yeah, it looks better in a spacesuit.
The robot is designed for utility, not for beauty.
It's Volador's voice.
Yeah. I'm getting used to hearing his voice boom out of walls, spaceships, and now this animated ash can. Gus here.
Gus?
The robot. If he's going to be around, he ought to have a name of his own.
That's the robot. Somehow it fits his personality.
It's time we got down to business, Corey.
Fine, but let's talk man to man, not through this mechanical monstrosity.
Yeah, and this dungeon is cold and damp and reeks of paint.
It's giving me a headache.
Fine place to put the Secretary General's daughter, in a room full of paint cans.
If you cooperate, you won't be here long. The paint, incidentally, is to be used on my spaceship. I find it necessary to change markings and identification numbers.
Don't you know that's illegal?
We're wasting time. Between the three of you, I should learn some interesting facts about the Space Patrol and government plans.
You're still wasting your time.
Remember the robot. He can be very persuasive. Corey, we'll start with the Space Patrol code system. Come, I'm waiting.
Well, this is going to take some time. I think I'll pull up a can of paint and sit down. Whoops. The lid's loose on this one.
Let me see that.
Sure. Here, Commander.
Corey, what are you going to do with that can of paint?
Black paint, not too thick, not too thin. Stand back, Carl, away from Gus.
Paint isn't going to stop this robot.
No, but it'll slow him down.
Wow. All over Gus's head and down his front.
I can't see. Confound you, Corey.
Now, put the empty can over his head for good measure.
Oh, look out, Buzz. Don't let him grab you.
Captain, the robot dropped the ray gun. Get it. Let's get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Corey.
Come on, Carol. Now pull that door shut and throw the bolt.
That was close.
I can still hear Gus stamping around in there with a can on his head. It was a great idea, Commander.
Before that robot will be any more use, pull it over, we'll have to get the can off its head and wipe the paint off the detectoscope.
Poor Gus, just like a blind Samson.
Poor Gus, my eye. He's a walking pile driver.
Carol, do you know how to get out of this castle?
They brought me down that stairway over there.
Come on. Try the door, Hatch.
It's locked.
A castle this size, there must be more doors.
Chances are Polidor has them all locked.
Yeah, by electronic control.
I was hoping to get Carol to a safe place and then search this castle till we found Polidor.
Buzz, something smells strange.
I noticed it too, sir. My eyes are burning.
Polidor's flooding the castle with poison gas. Now we've got to find him.
Buzz, Carol, and Happy rush through the bleak corridors of the huge castle. They try door after door. All are locked. And each moment the toxic vapor becomes more and more unbearable, burning their lungs, making them gasp for breath. Right now they're painfully groping their way down a dimly lit corridor near a winding stairway.
Even if we do run into Polidor, how are we going to handle him? I can hardly see.
He'll be in the same fix we are.
He's probably shut himself up in an airtight room waiting for the gas to finish us.
The coward. He knows we've got a gun now, so now he won't...
Happy, listen.
Somebody's up the stairs.
Through the central stairway of the castle. Goes up to the tower and down to the dungeon.
Say, if we go up, we can get away from this gas.
Look up there. About 4 flights. There are 2 of them.
They're wearing spacesuits.
Polidor and Jedro.
So that's how they're avoiding the gas.
But a door up there leading outside.
Yeah, I saw a shaft of light. If they don't lock it, we can follow them and get out of here.
Look, something's wrong with one of them.
Hey, look how he's staggering around.
Maybe there's a leak in his spacesuit.
Yeah, that means that...
Look, he's falling over the railing. The other one isn't even helping him.
Stand back. He's going to drop down the stairs. Happy, you stay here with Carol. There isn't much chance he's alive, but we can't leave him there.
Sure, sir.
Listen. Someone's coming up the stairs. Carol, who else is in the castle?
I don't know. Just Jedro and Polidor, I thought.
Smoking rockets, Commander. Look. It's Jedro.
Yeah, it's me, but don't worry, I'm not armed. Get me out of here.
Hey, wait a minute. You're here, and one of those men in the spacesuit was Polidor. Who was the other one?
The robot.
Yeah, that's the one that fell down the shaft.
How do you know?
Because Jedro made him fall, isn't that right?
Yes. Polidor ran out of me, left me here to die, but I got this. It's one of the robot control mechanisms. Polidor had the other.
We were fighting for control of the robot. Polidor up there and you down below.
Yes.
That's why he staggered.
But why would he take the trouble to put the robot in a spacesuit?
Perhaps to confuse us in case we caught up with him.
And he figured Gus was more used to him now than Jedro.
Come on. Let's go up the stairs and out that door.
You can't. It won't open. Polidor had the only key.
Well, maybe we can break it down.
It's no use.
You mean we're locked in this castle?
Yes, Polidor thought of everything. We can't even shut off that poison gas.
Got to break that door open.
But Jedro says we can't.
Jedro. Down at the bottom of the stairwell is something that might help us. The robot.
Gus? He must be smashed in 1,000 pieces.
Try that control, Jedro. Hurry.
Okay, I'll cut it on. Might work at that. See this little screen that just lit up?
Yeah, it's the robot's shadow.
Now, let's see if he'll move.
Oh, his arms are moving.
See if you can get him on his feet. Hurry, we can't hold out much longer.
Hey, it works. Gus is walking.
All right, now you started. You'll follow the railing right up the stairs.
Come on. We'll go up to the door and wait for him.
Oh, Gus is still coming.
Try the door just in case.
It's no use, sir.
I feel pain.
Keep fighting, Carol. Jedro can get any more speed out of that robot.
There he is, coming up the last flight.
He's hardly damaged at all.
It's a big dent in the helmet, but outside of that, he's all right. Stand back and give him room. Go ahead, Jedro.
Yeah.
Sure.
Commander, catch him.
I've got him.
Oh, what a time for him to pass out.
I've been watching him work the controls. Let's see if I can operate, Gus.
That's it. He's raising his arms.
Here goes. Keep out of the way. He's going to start swinging.
Attaboy, Gus. Give it all you've got. Hooray. Good boy, Gus. We're free.
Happy, you take care of Jedro. Bring him out into the air. Come on, Carol. You'll be all right in a minute.
Oh, I'm fine now, but that air.
Hey, all we got to do now is go down these steps outside the castle and... Well, come on, Jedro, on your feet.
Thanks.
Polidor. He's getting away in a spaceship.
Where's the document?
No, he hasn't got him. I sneaked him away from him and hid him.
Yeah.
Inside the robot. That's why I tried to get control of it.
A gang of cutthroats. Polidor runs out on you. You double-cross Polidor. And it looks like the only decent guy in the outfit is Gus. Hey, Commander, did you work the robot control just then?
No, why?
Gus moved. Maybe he's got a short circuit from the fall. He's holding out his right arm.
Happy, you just paid Gus a compliment. I think he wants to shake hands.
Huh? Well, put her there, Gus.
A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
The last of the spook from outer space. The last of the walking, talking totem pole.
Yes, Space Patrollers, this is the very last time I can tell you about the fun you can have with the Man from Mars Totem Head with magic forehead vision. Wear one and you're the spook from outer space. The Totem Head is 12 inches high from head to shoulders. And with magic forehead vision, you can see out, but nobody sees in. Wear two, and you're the walking, talking totem pole. You'll really look just like an honest-to-goodness totem pole, too, because each Man from Mars totem head comes in honest-to-goodness totem colors. Red, yellow, green, and black, with honest-to-goodness looking totem ears, nose, eyes, and teeth. And man, oh man, just wait until you get yours. But you better not wait, because you've got to send for yours right away. Because this is the last time I can offer you the Man from Mars Totem Head with magic forehead vision. Now, for each one you want, send a Rice Chex or Wheat Chex box top, together with your name and address, and 25 cents in coin, to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. Don't forget your 25 cents. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy, dressed as prospectors, are tramping across the great Martian desert toward Polidor's hideout.
Getting closer. That must be the hideout right over that dune.
Can't expect to sneak up on him. Surprising. Best we can hope for is that we can get close before he recognizes us.
Uh-oh.
I see him. He sees us. There's people.
Can't tell whether it's Polidor or not, but he's got a gun.
Oh, what do you want?
Our car's back in the desert about 2 miles.
That's too bad. You won't be needing it anymore.
Drop Happy. He's got a blast gun.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, Trial by Terror, when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Virginia Hewitt, Bela Kovac, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present exciting action on Space Patrol. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast for Armed Forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.